Let's bring in Robert Leathern to discuss. He's a former VP of product at both Meta and Google. First, Robert, love to get your take on Meta's decision here. You know, they're not taking control, but they obviously are making a significant acquisition, in quotes, so to speak, here.
Yeah, my understanding is the companies know each other pretty well. I think Meta's been working with Scale AI for quite some time on labeling and other things. Meta actually invested in the company previously, so obviously they believe that the folks over there can really help them accelerate what they're doing in AI after some recent disappointments and some progress that might be lagging some of the competitors.
Yeah, it's interesting in that, I mean, they're bringing Wang over, obviously, and they're paying a big premium for 49% of his company. Do you have any sense, I don't know if you know him or are familiar with the work that he's done or what his ambitions will be over there or where Meta feels as though it has not been perhaps succeeding so far in the AI race?
Yeah, so a couple things. I think Meta really doesn't have the kind of reasoning models that some of the other companies like OpenAI have yet. So clearly that's going to be really important. And those are also very compute intensive. And so there's going to be a real continuing pressure to scale up on the data center side, which we obviously have heard about before. When it comes to that kind of scaling, I think it's going to be important to get help from the U.S. administration, from obviously other nation states. So I think I know Scale AI and their CEO have been very hawkish on China. They've talked about this publicly, that it's really a race between the U.S. and China in many respects for these technologies. And so it might be that Meta also saw that as a potential benefit to working closely together with Alexander Wang and the company and taking this position in the company. That could also be one of the benefits of doing so.
Who's going to be most scared or threatened by this announcement between Meta and Scale AI?
Well, I think certainly Scale AI has other big AI companies as its customers, and so it might be that they're concerned about confidentiality or other things in that respect going forward. It remains to be seen what that will look like for them. And I think that's going to be OpenAI, Google, etc. But certainly it's a very important player and a very important component in the AI race. Although of course so is the whole data center side of things as well.
Yeah, and finally, speaking of AI, it's only a day or so ago that we heard from Apple, or a couple of days ago. Not much there in terms of additions to their AI strategy. Sort of curious as to your thoughts about where they stand right now.
I think they're in a tough spot. They clearly are lagging behind in many respects. They do have, obviously, the device as a very important component. They made some announcements about giving developers access to on-device LLMs, which I think is something folks have been looking for and I think will be helpful for developers. But clearly, the package of announcements let folks down a little bit, was a little bit disappointing. So I do think they still have a lot of work to do because of their enormous footprint with consumers and the real importance of the device when it comes to how people will access these services. So I think they have a lot to do, and hopefully they'll be doing a lot more in the future.